chose me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see.
Match coming at you: Canis Aureus versus FeelsPlatMan. Both teams going at it, getting further in this cup. I'm Man of Class. I'm joined tonight by the Mega Lad. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing just fine. Hopefully, ready to see some phenomenal Overwatch between these two teams as a great community event bringing everyone together.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, not just playing Overwatch, but playing Overwatch together as teams, as communities, making sure everyone gets to play, everyone gets to watch each other play, and everyone gets to feel good about people watching them play. I think that sentence made sense, but if it didn't, doesn't really matter because it's all about the Overwatch in the end. And like I said, we're gonna have a wonderful game here. It's gonna be a best of five. I'm excited to get into this. It's gonna be something new. It's gonna be something exciting. For anyone who doesn't really know what the Community Crossover Cup is just yet, it's a wonderful initiative between a large bunch of communities who all said, you know what, we can show the best of teams within a certain SR range, which is around the Diamond SR range, and we'll throw them all together in this one crossover cup where normally they might not have played in each other's community tournaments or leagues or what have you format they have, but now they're here all together and showing off. It's essentially like a mega playoff, if you will. So we're going to start here on Ilios, starting on the Lighthouse, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen here because there's a lot of shifting going on lately.
Yeah, there's a lot of shifting with the meta, and also for the Community Crossover Cup, this is one of the last few events that's going to not be enforced at 2-2-2 roll lock, so you can still see the goats. We're still on that old patch. It is possible you can see variants like the Sombra goats, or you could just see flat out dive because it is Lighthouse, and well, that Edge and Lucio, name of greater combo.
Definitely, Lucio not only used in dive, obviously, but it does look like that's something we might be seeing here from this FeelsPlatMan. And yeah, you're gonna run out with that. And the Reaper is being queued up on the one side, and that is something we've seen it work out. Definitely a strong, powerful hero nowadays.
Well, yeah, Reaper just works as a great counter dive. You know, if a Winston wants to get on him, it's a few bullets and the monkey's gone and the Reaper has full HP again. It's almost like it's a deterrent, if you will.
Yeah, it's gonna have the dive versus the Orisa Hog setup, so it's gonna be, you know, the halt hook versus the mobility, really. And right now, it's gonna be actually the dive taking position on the point first here. Flat Chat taking a very good position, trying to just use the space they have, and that also has been giving to them. They made it to the point first with that Lucio, and now they're able to just get out there. It looks like Soldier almost getting halted off the point there, and now they're going to try and engage, but Orisa has to cover a lot of ground, push the shield down. The immortality field is there, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get onto the point, actually defend it. And now the kills are coming in. Neon Zo first of all, but Cozy on the other side, and Prodigy losing the mech. No tanks. It's going to be a hard one to pull back, and it does look like it's just going to be the bunker just surviving and overwhelming them in the end. It's only the Reaper of Nestle left with Amtar, and that's just going to be it.
Yeah, that's going to be it. You have stagger kill onto the Prodigy on the D.Va here in the end. Normally it is very hard for the Orisa Hog to get that combination, or get the point back into control, just because they lack the power, but some phenomenal picks from Snow, Brit, and the overextension on the other side. It just kind of works out for him, but now you see the Orisa Hog mirror on the other side.
Now already the hook on Ivysaurus, but does manage to get booped away. Lucio always so hard to get that one-shot combo on. CJ does get licked off. Wow, I can't even pronounce that name. Cozy also falling. It does look like this defense is gonna hold. And how can you expect otherwise with that lovely shield in the way and that hog combo? It's so nice. It's such a good tank combo now.
Well, yeah, it's always just a fun thing to see the Orisa Hall hooks as long as you have the synergy. But right in that play specifically, you have CR3 just using the High Noon to zone out any damage that wants to come in from the other side, and it's just an interesting zoning composition we have here, especially with the Baptiste.
Yeah, Lightbow Femboy has not really been that that lucky so far with the soldiers. Just been running into headshots from the Hanzo a lot of the time. so maybe we'll actually get a little bit further than the spawn door, essentially. Prodigy going over the top with that Reaper, and they've hooked in the Roadhog with the Snowbrit, so this could actually turn around really quickly if they're able to get that kill. Doesn't look like Snowbrit is really able to back up, but they do have to... Oh, I thought they had to get back, but that Dragon just turns it around. CJ getting the 3k, 2 of the Dragon, 1 with the Storm Arrows, and another one to follow it up. I'd not be surprised if that's not played the game, but that's so nice to see. The Huns just popping off, 78% and counting. Looks to be over on this point already.
I mean, there's still going to be the last minute contest, obviously, but you know, you're going to have to come back in. Late Supercharger use on the side of, unfortunately I cannot say their team name even slightly, but you know what, it's a C and an A, I can tell you that. And they're just getting right back into the action here, trying to touch point.
Yeah, Canis, Aureus is the one we're looking for here. They are getting back into it, getting the kill to Neon, so it's a good start, but Krev is pulling it back. CJ does fall, so it is still a little bit even numbers-wise, but the numbers don't always tell the whole story. So it could still go into the favor of Canis, but it does look like with that blade especially, this should be the end of that fight. Blue does get somehow res back up here, but just gets res to be whole hog down by Nestle. So they're gonna be able to actually survive and get through it. They get the point back, and that was a turnaround of a little bit.
Yeah, it was definitely the comeback, the fast build on the blade feed from Ligbo Fam. That's you know, we're just gonna go with Ligbo. That sounds close enough. But then also on the side of FeelsPlatMan, they do have the Ana, which is a huge advantage of this composition, because if you can just hit that anti onto the Roadhog, well then he can't do a whole lot, just like that.
And that's still already taking down Snowbreak here, so now the defensive whole combination really working out here for the side of FeelsPlatMan. And yeah, I mean, they still have CJ trying to get the picks off, but he's just being assaulted by Prodigy in that room on the right. There's a Dragon coming out. He does make a lot of space, but doesn't really quite catch someone out, but it does open up a little bit of room there to get that halt hook of their own. But as I say that, New just gets hooked out. They do get the counter hook onto Nestil, but with that shield just being saved, Nano on him as well. So this is going to be a lot of damage coming out from a Roadhog, just walking around a little bit, strutting, just showing off his new lightning colors. And there is a supercharge coming out from Blue, but also from Cozy, and the trades are happening. There is a flanking Deadeye, but it doesn't really get anyone, and the blade of Ligbo, it wasn't maybe even necessary, but gets a kill from it, so that's always something you like to see.
It's sending a message more so than anything, but because of the fact that it was one huge long extended fight with just one pick slowly coming in after another, we already have it built up to 99%. I don't think there's going to be a touch from the side of Canis.
There isn't, no. Canis, Aureus especially not getting back to the point.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's just a huge extended fight from the side of FeelsPlatMan, getting one pick at a time, not allowing their opposition to move forward even an inch, and just absolutely gaining the percentage, because it is an objective-based game at the end of the day.
And I'm moving over to Ruins here. This is the one, everyone says it every single time it comes up. It's called Widowmaker's Playground, everyone. We're gonna get here, but there are some talent diggings going around, so don't be too surprised if the lore at some point goes over here and says, oh, so they dug something up. Maybe this is where Echo came from, or like where she was stored. I don't know. Gonna see some Widowmakers on both sides, though. I'm excited. Let's see those shots come out, guys.
Widow duels in 2019. You wouldn't believe me if I told you it was true, but it is true. And it's just gonna be who can get the pick on the other Widow, or just do the zoning, because
it's Krev.
There it is.
Krev answers your question straight away. Gets that first pick off, and now the fight's gonna ensue. It's gonna be Canis, Aureus on the prowl, just going forward. They're gonna take both point position first, and they have that Widow. CJ also taking down Ivysaurus. The TPS definitely showing up here already. Nuke does get taken out by Nestil, but CJ just answers whack one, and that's still a 2-number advantage here. Getting Cozy, just the icing on the cake.
Yeah, just the icing on the cakes. Doomfist very powerful in this new meta that we are, because even though we aren't locked to that was a lot of twos, but even though we're not locked to it, a lot of teams are opting in to play it, and as you see, it's just a matter of a Doomfist can pop off in this type of environment. There's not a whole lot to counter him. As long as he has the pocket from his team, he can just keep going in, dealing constant damage and getting hits.
Yeah, and even like you said, even though we're not locked in it so far, both teams are really looking to play it because they just want to get prepared. And now there's the Nano Winston of Clue, Kraft taking down Ligbo, Cozy is also falling with Snowbird, so it looks like another good defense here from Canis. But they haven't quite cleaned it up just yet. As I say, that Nianza obviously just takes a support, bloodthirsty action to the faces of Platchat. Who feels FeelsPlatMan? Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just a matter of Ana decided that she's tired of being a support. She's gonna go get the kills. But you know, you always hear it whenever Widow is brought into discussion. The Widow does not have to fire a shot. She just being on the battlefield changes the way the game is played. But a huge counter snipe onto Doomfist to start out could be a huge advantage for Platchat.
Legbona on the Hanzo, which is of course a very different hero than Widowmaker, in the sense that he throws logs at you and not bullets. There's a High Noon, there's a Dragon, there's a All Hog. They're throwing out all the ultimates, but they do get the credit. They do get the value. And then now it's just the attempt of Flu to really get someone off the cliff. He might get Ivysaurus, but that Lucio is such a wall riding and pain in the behind. So Flu not gonna get that one. It's actually gonna be taken out by Nesteel, but it's gonna be CJ who does get that consolation kill with Lucio in the end.
Yeah, you do get that constellation kill, but if you are Canis, you are okay with that because it was 4 ults used. You only used Primal. You're gonna have 3 ults coming up on 4 as CR3 switches over to the McCree to opt into this McCree duel since there is no Widow to even think about contesting.
And those fights really don't even end because even though you thought they were resetting, the kills were still coming out on both sides. Now it's CJ coming back in, taking down both supports. Krev takes down Cozy, and with that, they just took out everything that was still left from FeelsPlatMan. So it's going to be a flip really quickly.
It's going to be a quick flip. They do get Clue in the end, so maybe a quicker regroup, but Winston does have that mobility, so he should be back in the fight. But once again, that's a fight where no ultimates have to be used on the side of Canis, so they can come in and just hold out. They're already at 83%. It's going to definitely be 99% minimum before this point could even think about getting flipped back.
Nice hook on the CJ, takes him down straight away. That Matrix is not long enough this time around, Snowbrit. So Nesteel getting that one. There's a nano onto a bomb that was already coming out, so that's a little bit of a wasted ultimate, but Krev and Snowbrit falling after that. This is looking like a bit of a disaster fight here for the side of Canis Aureus. And it looks like FeelsPlatMan is just going to take this one, or at least this fight, and they're going to flip the point pretty soon. 99% ticking, but 99 is not 100.
99 is not 100. You do use some ults if you're Canis, so now all of a sudden you could be on the back foot. Closest ult on the field, unless I am blind, is going to be the nano on the side of FeelsPlatMan from Axmar. And you do have Prodigy and CR3 just in this Tracer duel now. It seems to just be the meta of switch DPS as many times as you can to pretty much make the mirror happen and see what you can do against your opponent.
Yeah, and it's looking like I hope it's not going to be the same scenario for the sake of Canis Aureus, where they go to 99, then the point flips, and they somehow let them get back into it and just don't get back on the point. Looks like Legbo already takes that first kill to CJ, and Canis already under a lot of pressure here. They need to get some counter kills. Nice Angine coming out, so Ivysaurus will fall the nuke, but now they're trying to primal everything in the corner, and Clue gets the 3k for it. That should be the value that they need to flip this point, and it looks like Canis is going to run away with this one, but overtime is still ticking, so maybe someone can get back. Doesn't look like it. Ivysaurus, he could be a fast Lucio, but that was nowhere near.
Fast Lucio just isn't fast enough, but it's a huge primal from Clue. Absolutely shuts down any chances of that fight being even though the first pick does come from the side of FeelsPlatMan on that Hanzo. It's not enough. 1 pick versus 3, it's basic math.
Yeah, and basic math, easy math, quick math. We've all heard it before. If you've done it in primary school, you know that you've done it right. And we're gonna go here over to Well, and we've seen a lot of these Orisa Hold hook combos with the Roadhog. If there's one map, including with the boops, like just putting all that together, it's this one. This is the one where you get to see a lot of that, and where you're gonna see them have most of the effect, because you don't even need to shoot someone after you've done any of that if they fall into that that huge pit in the middle. So
absolutely huge murder hole.
Gonna be a good one.
Anomaly huge murder hole. Disappointed to not see the Torbjorn from my boy DeFran, but you know what? It's okay. Mirrored composition on both sides starting out the fight.
That's actually looking interesting with Prodigy on the Junkrat, so not entirely mirrored here. It's going to be the projectile versus the more hit scan type. But Cozy gets hooked up the map. Prodigy already down to CJ, who's been hitting a lot of these headshots today on that Hanzo. And Nesteel trying to counter it back, but missed the hook, and Ivysaurus is going to be the third one to fall. I think they're going to reset a little bit here on the side of FeelsPlatMan.
Yeah, you do want the clean reset, though. You can't get staggered out. You can't get pulled into that pick, because that's just more ult charge, especially with a Roadhog being the last one there. Oh, but a huge pick from Nesteel onto CR3.
That's great, because now they could start the fight off 6v5 now, because no one died on their side late. And it's gonna be, they're just gonna try and contest this. They're gonna try and get in. And Lakeball is charging up fast that blade, but isn't quite there yet. So it needs to be a little bit careful, not losing their life there. It's gonna be Snowbrit being pulled forward. No hook combo there. The dragon does come out, but it's not forcing anyone away. You're just able to stand a little bit to the side. They weren't in control of the point anyways. There is the hook. There is the hook. Clue hooked in. There is the blade. Everything coming out. The kitchen thingy thinking to thrown at it with that nano, but Ligbo is still falling. Looks like this is still going to be a fight win here in the end. If Krev is not going to go crazy here on that McCree. Big Boss Fine not here today. Snowbird last the hook, and that's going to be the point flip for FeelsPlatMan.
First victim of the murder hole goes to Snowbrit. We'll get you a nice award, put it on a shelf somewhere for you. But it was a huge deadeye. CR3 almost comes back with that. Fortunately, the McCree just wasn't enough to deal with all of the damage and the halting. The halting, the hooking, there's so much to watch out for with these compositions.
Yeah, both halts coming out, both hooks coming out, but Clue is once again the one that's being found here. It doesn't look like they had quite the same Clue as the run that on the other side of Canis, so they're going to have to try and come back in once again. CJ falling as well. Just waiting a little bit here, seeing what they're going to come up with. Doesn't look like they're going to change over here.
Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna. Oh, but they are switching to the pharmacy, which is, I mean, obviously just a phenomenal pick here. There's no real counterplay unless Amxar. I really can't do names tonight. I'm just that good. Can just hit shots on the Ana.
Yeah, you should be able to hit with 1 or 2 shots with a Mercy in the air. That's going to be hard. Doesn't really matter so far if Cozy keeps winning out those main tanks fight. Yeah, they do get. Yeah, Clue, but Clue gets res dead back up. It doesn't really matter if you're just gonna get down straight away. Once again, a lot of pressure coming in for those projectile heroes, and that Farah not working out so far.
Yeah, and it's obviously one of those things you might not have caught unless you could see it specifically on the feed, but Amxar actually hits the sleep dart onto CEA, which allows the hook from Nestle to connect and get the one-shot combo, which, you know, if you're a Farah, you're just having a bad day when the Roadhog is the one to get you down.
Yeah, you thought it was bad if a Doomfist punched you out of the air. Well, Ana sleeping you from across the map, that's really the one that stings you. And it stings you more than just the sleep. You're gonna have bad dreams from that one. Cozy gonna get another halt out. The halt is not connecting on either side, so it's just gonna have to be the Nano Blade once again. He's not getting that much value out of it. Amxar actually gonna go down here. They do trade this out, so it's both Amxar and Ligbo down, with also CJ and Clue on the other side. So relatively even fight, but Nestle, finally the one being hooked into the pit. It's gonna be Snowbrit on the prowl, is now trying to get around the pit, not being pulled or thrown in here. There's a tire. Will it get anything? It does look to be going after the Roadhog, but he actually gets shot down by Nianzo, and Prodigy meanwhile taken down as well. So it's gonna be probably a flip coming out here from Canis. They really have the numbers. No ultimates left here on the other side, and they are able to flip it here, and they even get some ultimates in the bank still.
And truly the hero of that fight has to be Nianzo. So starts off the fight by getting a sleep onto the Junkrat, which allows Newt to get the res onto Farah, but then in that fight shuts down the tire single-handedly once the Junkrat is finally awake, which, you know, Anas don't shut down tires all that often. It's really not their jobs, but hey, you know what? If you're good enough, you can do it.
It's the thing is, I think it's 3 shots you have to hit nowadays with the Ana, so it's not even that you can do it that easily. And by the time you hit that 3rd one, it's usually already at your face. So Blue is going to be in a good position to do the halt hooks. The halt coming out again from the other side as well. No one getting any payment out of that one. And the pulse bomb looks like it wasn't really a hit so far from Krev, but he's going to be still roaming around in that backline trying to get the value. The halt not connecting, but it's going to be Krev taken down by the Helix Rocket. Blue has to step back on the point, is purple, has no shield, gonna get taken down. The flip comes in here for FeelsPlatMan, and the overwhelming pressure with that McCree coming in now from Lakebow and Prodigy on the Soldier is gonna net them the win. They all drop into the pit as a victory party. I don't know what's a party about that, but I guess they know more than I do about what's on the bottom of that pit.
Yes, indeed. And although are we actually going more than 3 rounds? Am I? Yep.
We're not. So it's still the same settings you have in
NA productions in the chat. If I don't see at least 3 NA productions, I will be sad. But yep, so that is going to be the first map going the way of FeelsPlatMan. And I gotta say, the DPS play from FeelsPlatMan is just outperforming.
Yeah, it's looking like it is. But so we can go back over like the 3 points because there's different things happening all of the time. But So the first point, Canis Aureus actually managed to hold on to that first point until like 99%, and then FeelsPlatMan came back and just flipped it all the way around on them. They tried to do the same thing on Ruins, but that didn't quite work out. Did something change in the way that Canis approached like the game, or just the general macro play that they did in order to make that happen?
I don't believe it was Canis. It was more on the side of FeelsPlatMan because on that first point on the lighthouse, you saw that they would get just, one pick here, one pick there. And while it didn't necessarily give them a guaranteed fight win, there was a hesitance to just go and fight that 5v6. So you'd have to wait. And that just slowly ticked up percentage for FeelsPlatMan until it was 99, 99. And the pressure was on and it was just a one fight territory at that point. Once you got into the second round, though, FeelsPlatMan wasn't able to exert that type of pressure, get those picks like that. So it just came down to really just the halt hook play of just getting picked.
Yeah, but the whole hook play looked really on point there for the side of FeelsPlatMan as well, though. I mean, I felt like they got clue more times than Canis got. Got their counterparts. So Cozy didn't go down that often to halt hooks. Neither did Nestil. So there might be a little bit of a disconnect here. In that department on Canis' side, but their DPS really started showing up again. So CJ definitely doing stuff. And of course Krev also showing up. So I'm really curious to see what that's going to do for our other maps. I mean, we still have at least 2 more to go. And yeah, maybe those composition differences. We've heard that map difference just does make a lot of the map choice makes a big difference in the current meta. At least it's starting to make a big difference again. So maybe that will indeed be the thing that puts FeelsPlatMan back into the 8.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Krev is going to be a huge impact here. Like his DPS was definitely popping off a lot more than any DPS in the game. It's just a matter of his team enabling him just a little bit more so he can get those crucial pickoffs, start fights, and end them before they can ever truly even begin.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see where we're gonna go. I think we're waiting for the map pick still. I think Canis is allowed to pick the map here, and it looks like they've already selected Numbani. I think that's what they're gonna go for because they just ask if everyone's ready.
Numbani is definitely an interesting map, especially now that we're out of the Goat's jail. You're not wondering if you're playing a Winston or a Reinhardt, and that's the only variation. You have a bunch of different options. You have a lot of high ground that Winston can possess. You have some fun architecture on the map just all throughout it from point A to point C that you can take advantage of. And Doomfist also can pretty much call this map his home. You can jump down with the slams. You can be hiding around corners everywhere. It's truly just a playground for a lot of different things.
Yeah, we're gonna go into the map here. Obviously, Numbani, and we're gonna have Canis on the defense first. It's gonna be FeelsPlatMan on the attack. Of course, Numbani. I mean, we're talking about this before we started here, where we have the new hero Sigma, but some people might not have known there's this beautiful fashion shop here, a fashion store with a lot of female robotic couture, as they call it. So fashion design, a lot of beautiful dresses. It's called Sigma as well. So maybe we'll find out someday that there's some hidden plot there with the new hero. But yeah, for now, all we can do is hope and dream that he might be some fashion guru. I personally would be very excited if that was the case. That was one of his multiple personalities that he might have. But for now, it's gonna talk about what actually is gonna happen on the map. Looks like we're gonna see some dive on the defense.
Yeah, it's looking like a dive defense. Like I was saying, there's a lot of that high ground. Unfortunately, we aren't going to be seeing Sigma's boutique just yet. That is on point B. You do have the point A, which, like I was saying before, there's tons of different high ground. You can leap up onto it. D.Va can control it. Ana can safely perch herself up here. Widowmaker can take long shots. She can take close shots. She can kind of just jump around as she please. But you are also prone to getting dived on yourself. So unless your Ana is phenomenal, which Nyanzo has started to prove himself already with that last map alone, it's going to be interesting. Definitely see dive v dive.
Yeah, and obviously when we have that Wrecking Ball and that Winston coming out, that's an interesting development. Because a lot of teams have been saying that D.Va, while she's still good, she's not as strong as she used to be. So that Wrecking Ball is a very good, I wouldn't say replacement, but a good placeholder in order to use together with Winston. I think he provides more disruption, and that's really something you can do. You can already see that. Tries to go behind them, boop them off that high ground, and there the dive comes in. Winston as well. They're really putting them in that room, but Prodigy is the first to fall. Then it's going to be Nestle trying to get Krav out of the way, but the healing is there. Once again, Nianzo doing so much work, and Krav gets not only the Venomine kill, but also the kill onto Legbo. It looks like this attack is going to be stumped for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and just on the side of FeelsPlatMan, like, it's interesting to try to send your dive composition up the middle of the streets instead of trying to take control of one of the high grounds, simply because you're leaving your Widow on the low ground. She can't really get a good angle on anything happening unless she uses her grapple ability, which she just kind of wants to save for an escape. But once you're diving in on an Ana, that anti-nade comes in and you're just melted if you're the Winston.
Another dive, same position, but this time they don't put themselves into that little corridor behind them. Nice anti-nade comes out though from Nianzo, really putting the work in on that Ana so far. But the point control does seem to be there for the attack. They are all in now. The healing can come out from their own Ana, but Krav still alive, has the angle. Together with Legbo, they both get a pick each. No headshots just yet. But it's going to be the Nano Winston on the defense trying to get in. Now it's Primal up as well. But it's really trying to struggling to find a target here. That minefield gets Nianzo, the big linchpin here. So that's a really big pick with Krav also falling. Legbo going to be free to fire whoever they want. They did get Amkar on the attack as well, but he just gets Resdeck up. Just going to be Nestle falling, and it looks like the attackers, FeelsPlatMan, are going to take the point, and that is going to feel good for them. Not taking that much time off the clock.
Well, yes, and Cozy comes up big in that play as the stagger kills come in here on point A. But like I was saying, Cozy comes in huge because he drops the minefield directly onto Nianzo on the Ana, which, while yes, he backs up for just a bit, doesn't die to the mines for a moment, he still is just zoned out from healing his team because he's stuck inside this tiny little corridor on point A with no sight out besides just mines, mines, and mines. But hey, you know what? We're on point B, so we have a nice boutique we can look at.
Exactly, and he's already got he's close to another minefield as well. I think they're actually almost going to fight in front of the Sigma store here, the Bot Couture, as we call it. It's a nice French word for you there. And, well, the French players, the Widowmakers, they're battling it out. Legbo under a lot of pressure from those dive tanks. And there is the Nanoblade, gets one, probably going to try and get two, gets the second one. And Niazo, even CJ fall into that last dash. Nestle gets a 5k in that fight. I mean, if you wanted someone to show up, that's definitely something. Even gets the, okay, he just basically gets the final blow on every single member of Canis there. That's gotta feel good. After all those months of Genji, ooh, that's great.
After all the months of not getting to play Genji, you get the huge Nano Blade, which literally, I don't think the payload stopped moving for all of P, which gives them a 4-minute and 50-second time bank starting to roll into C here, which is huge, especially for this point of the match.
Another nice deep mine placement here from Cozy, but Nestle has already fallen, so they're a little bit under pressure here on the attack to really get that cart rolling further. And it looks like they might get stopped here with all those also online for the defense, but they really got to get some more value if they really want to be able to use more of these. Flu already used the Primal. They're going to be out of it. That's the self-destruct in a very good spot. Doesn't get any kills though because everyone's got so much health and mobility. On the attack side, Legbo actually gets Mute, and now they're going to have to go further. Mute has the sound barrier as well, so it's a shame he went down. Flu goes very deep for that kill, doesn't get it. Nestle with is not going to be the blading Genji this time. It's going to be CJ, not the Nano, not needed, but he doesn't really get any kills from it. So a lot of ultimates used from defense. No value just yet, and Legbo just gets another one onto Krav. It's going to be a free Widowmaker from now on. No pressure from the defense. Prodigy gets CJ as well. No DPS even from the defense. And now with Nianzo falling, they really got to scramble. 3 minutes and 45 seconds. It's close.
It's definitely close, but the side of Canis, unfortunately, we have Blue switching over to the Reinhardt, which, while I love Reinhardt as much as the next guy, just the Wrecking Ball and Winston are going to be able to deal so much pressure to him that he can't stop as we get right back into the action.
Yeah, Legbo gets nuked already. There's a Nano Prodigy on the tanks. Gonna be a lot of sustain from the Reiner and Zarya, but those mines are gonna do a number on them. The shield is at least gonna go very low here. Krev already falling to Nestle has now gone over to that McCree. There's the Nano Reinhardt. He should be able to do a lot. Not while slept. The Prodigy wakes them up. Is the card gonna make it? No one is on it right now for either team. There's gonna be the members returning from both sides. But the hit scanner just cleaning up house here. Prodigy gets the kill in the Snowbird. This defense not gonna hold on for much longer. Looks like CJ and Krev are the last ones alive, and they're gonna fall pretty soon as well. The Tracer can be very mobile, very annoying, and it actually buys a little bit of time. They're coming back into this, but they need some kills. If you don't get the kills, you're not gonna stop this cart. And Newt, while he's a little bit sustainable mobile, won't be able to do enough in order for Snowbird to get back in time. That's gonna be a pretty quick completion here from FeelsPlatMan.
Yeah, they have about 3 minutes left on the clock. Could be just a tad more, a tad less. But it was just a clean play overall from them, and it's going to be 2:47, the official ruling, which for Numbani, that's a nice little time bank you definitely want to have stocked up. But there just really wasn't any room for Canis to breathe. Just FeelsPlatMan was just all over them with no real punishment for their pressure.
And you don't obviously always have to be all over your enemy. You can give them a little bit of space, but then you need to use that space correctly. I mean, they just gave a lot of space, and then they didn't really use the space that they still occupied. They just kept running away a lot, and there wasn't really any counter pressure. Because when a dive comes in, you can either set up with a bunker and just let them come to you and kill them that way, or you can counter dive and sort of have that same initiation, but at the same time that they're doing it, and have your backline survive for longer, which was the classic concept of dive. Wasn't really the case there. It was just dive, and they tried to counter dive with their own dive, but by just standing there, they didn't really peel that well. So a little bit of a different approach, and that might have just been that the meta has not been that way. They might not have lived through those days as a team. They might just not know what dive actually is.
Yeah, they might have formed in the GOATS meta, so you have to learn these new heroes, or you have to relearn things like that. But so far, between both these maps, obviously, yes, they are on the back foot right now, but Nianzo has been pulling up huge on a huge anti, keeping his team alive in the critical situations, and I feel the need to point that out because, supporters don't get that much love. Nianzo, that
he
one's
feels
for
the
you.
needs for sleeps. Ivysaur is now on the defense on that Ana as well. It's going to be Nestle and Ligbo together on the turret brothers. It's going to be the Torbjorn and the Bastion. That's not something you see a lot. That's going to be hard to break, especially with that new Baptiste hero. They do only have the turret behind Cozy's shield. Do they want to bait in a dive on that?
Bait in on dive on that and keep the Bastion rotating on the high ground. As you see, they just kind of have to position on the side of Canis, but Baptiste can throw Immortality Field quite a distance, so he can go wherever it needs. If it needs to go onto Orisa or Bastion, he can throw it and make it there in time.
Oh, but they know. They all rotated all around. Ligbo going very low already, and they used the Winston shield effectively. Nestle's actually asleep, but Nianzo going down. That attack is already stumped with both their main tank and the main source of healing gone. They're gonna have to probably try again here, because I don't think this is gonna work out for them.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Turret Brothers, if we can get a Mario and Luigi skin for Torbjorn and Bastion, I feel like that would be phenomenal. Blizzard, make it happen. But yeah, especially because you're keeping the Bastion separate from the Torbjorn, you're creating just kind of a pincered attack. You as the dive tank, you don't know where to go. You don't know if you need to focus down Bastion, but then the Torbjorn gets free reign, and you're just going to have ultimates built up on the side of FeelsPlatMan, and it's going to be hard to come back from that.
I mean, it really should be hard to come back from that, but you see the ultimates picking up, and so they swapped off their entire comp now. They do really have not much in the bank. Nianzo's Nano is the closest, and that could do a lot. If you give it to the right hero, that can just really mess up a defense. But Ligbo in an off position here, not really with the rest of his team. It's throwing the Molten Core straight up on them. That's a really nice one. Flu is going to be burned to bits together with the fire from Nestle, and Cozy just answers it as well with CJ calling. 3 down. Ligbo does get traded here, so I think they're just going to wait here for the rest of their team. I don't think they're actually dropping off. Krev and Nianzo are going to stay alive, and that...
Interesting that they're not going to get followed up on in a 5v2, but you know what?
It's hard. It's hard for them to follow up because they don't have that much mobility. They can't just run there because then they might get caught out. They want to stay on their positional rotations.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bastion can't move that fast, and he's got the Baptiste with him. There's no real movement abilities outside of the Diva, so it looks as though there's just going to be free purchase here for the Ana McCree as their team finally groups back up with them, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to try to approach this. They have to get one target down immediately, otherwise the other turret's just going to deal the damage.
Oh, the Torbjorn is sneaking up behind them as well. Ligbo definitely spotted them out. They might just get him again for free because they know they put a trap behind it now just to keep safe, and Ligbo gets back to safety behind Cozy's shield. Nice and Cozy in that corner. No, he goes for the flank again potentially. He moves the turret here. There's the application matrix onto Nestle. The Immortality Field falls, but Nestle already did the damage, so it's going to be trading on both sides here. It's going to be Krev and Clue falling for the side of Nestle, and yeah, I mean, are they going to be able to continue this fight? Because it does seem like they lost a lot of momentum and a lot of pace there. And Nianzo going down there to that Torbjorn. New tries to get the turret. He's just under so much pressure here. The turret's still alive and not going to fall here. There's actually CJ going down. Another Immortality Field falls. Nice self-destruct, but won't get any value. Just forces the shield of the Immortality Field out. And looks like they're going to be able to hold here on the defense. It's a very long and scrappy fight with only 30 seconds left. Canis, they really got to step on it. I don't think they have the tools to work with.
Yeah, I think you're seeing some of the effects of the Goats meta right here. Clue trying desperately to play this Reinhardt, and while his team is trying to position him as well as he can, that entire fight started out with Posey pulling him off the high ground, leaving his team without a shield against Ashen. Not his fault, he can't control getting pulled, but it's just little plays like that where you would need a Winston who can move, get back to his team, and just Reinhardt can't do it.
2, 1. Do they touch the coin? They don't touch it in time because the halt was there. Oh, it was gonna be a hard fight, but that really feels bad. It doesn't feel flat. That feels bad, guys. And I cannot. I mean, I gotta feel for them. I really thought they were gonna get at least that one more attack, and maybe they could have done something interesting with maybe like a high noon or something like that. But honestly, that just feels rough in order to win that way. But you know what? It happens. That was the best. So I suppose it's going to be a hard one for them to win it anyways. And there's just that lovely 6K from Nestle coming out. You don't quite get the 6th one, but Nestle showing up on that map. Definitely a big reason why they were able to do that. Also, great support coming in, like you said before. Not just from Dianzo, but also from Amskar. I really don't know still how to... I mean, AMXAR? Or is M...
I feel like we should get
MXAR or
player
something like that.
pronunciations sheets.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll you know what? We'll ask them after the match or some other day. That's going to be fine. For now, though, it's going to be a 1-1. So, yeah, looking forward to that third map. We're going to get another 2 still, guys. Not going to be a clean sweep. Not going to be 3 Overwatch. And that makes me excited. I mean, both teams winning a map here. FeelsPlatMan in a little bit more dominant fashion than the Ilios map went over to Canis. But still, it's gonna be a fun one. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, especially to see which map we go to here. It's just Nianzo's doing his best on the side of Canis to keep everybody alive, deal the damage at the same time, even though he is a support and CR3, Kariv, however you'd like to say it. They've got all these different ways to go about it, so it's really going to depend on map, I feel like.
Yeah, it really should. And I think we're gonna have a little bit of a halftime break, guys. So we're gonna see you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Just get yourself a little bit of a drink, a little bit of a snack. You know, it's always gonna be exciting. And we'll be back in a few minutes. So see you on the other side, guys.
Like a broken soul in a wonderland without angels. That is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm when you when you next to me,
Welcome back, everyone, to the Community Crossover Cup. We are still in the match between Canis, Aureus, and FeelsPlatMan. We're going to have a 2-0 scoreline so far before FeelsPlatMan. I'm still Man of Class. I'm still joined here by Megalad. And Megalad, got to go into Volskaya here. Could be the last map. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling like Nianzo is pulling his weight, and Clue is just unfortunately getting caught out in a lot of unfortunate situations. And it's not really his fault, it's just Cozy is outplaying him in every type of scenario. So if there's any chance of a reverse sweep, then Clue's going to definitely need to somehow avoid halts.
Yeah, do you feel it's also is it a lot of that individual difference in the players, or does it have a lot to do with the way that the teams are prepared for this current situation?
I think it's just a matter of FeelsPlatMan has a lot of synergy going in. You can see it how cleanly executed the Halt Hook combos are, the dives are on the side of FeelsPlatMan, whereas Canis is just kind of like they're relying a lot on pop-off potential from CR3 and Nianzo, which, well, don't get me wrong, pop-off play is always fun to watch. It's not always reliable, so that's where it could come down to just being better prepared for the scenario.
Okay, so whereas FeelsPlatMan is it's just a team. Canis is a little bit more of a collection of great players, which is not to say that they're not a team, obviously, but they could maybe look a little bit into that synergy, and that is obviously everyone will always keep training, so that's what they're there for. Going into full sky here, it's going to be assault map, and if I look at assault maps, these are always the ones where I feel this is where the team play is going to be the biggest.
Yeah, because you do have like your synergy can give you a first point hold, or it can give you a 6-minute time bank when you cap both points. I mean, it really just it could go either way. It could go anywhere in between, and it just comes down to also the maps in potential. Like this map for the attackers doesn't really lend itself to Orisa Hog, for example. Which, while yes, the synergy on the side of FeelsPlatMan with that specific combination has been working great, if they can't play it all the time, then that's where it starts to come into question of what they can play.
Yeah, for the defense, we do see the goats come out. It's still here, guys.
It's alive.
Not out of the game just yet. We do have one right here. It's going to be a classic one as well. Not the first OG version of goats, because they do have the Zenyatta, but this is as classic as you can get it almost. It's great. Nianzo on the Zenyatta that we haven't seen so far, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be a great change of pace. TJ on the Brigitte, Newt on the Lucio, and then we have the 3 tanks coming in. CR3 on the Rosarian, Clue on the Reinhardt.
And this is where I feel there's potential just with their synergy to come in at the last second, because Clue was playing a lot of that Reinhardt in situations where it wasn't optimal, and he was still doing at least something. So now in a situation where his Reinhardt can actually play the game, let's see how it works in this Goats v McCree.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-2-2 from the other side of FeelsPlatMan. They already get a nice charge and an anti-nade in, so C3V, which is Tier 3, will just go down. Nianzo as well. That's already 3 falling, 4 falling. This is going to be a very quick cleanup, and that is not something we might have expected to see coming out of this.
Yeah, no, definitely not something. It all starts with a huge sleep dart from Amxar coming in, putting Clue to sleep, which allows him to not only get anti, but allows him to get charged. But you see the synergy from the side of FeelsPlatMan, because the second the anti-nade goes down, and everybody on the other team is anti is when the charge comes out from Cozy, so it just allows him to really amplify the synergy on this team.
Yeah, everyone is still here for the defense, though, so they're going to have a good start in the defense here. But Clue gets slept up, gets stunned up, and is just going to they're trying to charge him out, but he does get healed up in time. Lovely sustain from that Goats. The Shatter doesn't get anything so far. They try to get in deep, but Cozy's going to get punished for it. So this is where it comes in. The high noon could be big here from the side of Nestle, but he doesn't actually get anything but a Matrix in his face. Will go down to Snowbrit. Prodigy falling as well. Looks like the attackers are going to be stomped here. And now the ultimate situation as well. It's going to be pretty even.
It is going to be even. You do have Cozy use his ultimate, and Ness is going to reset and go to Reaper for this composition, but you're going to have pretty much all 6 ultimates outside of Zarya has to build a little bit on the side of Canis, but the fight's already happening once again.
Yeah, he's already on it. Cozy just trying to swing it over. There's a Nano Blade. It gets the value of Nianzo straight away because he was slept. Didn't have the Transcendence just yet. Amsar will be traded out. And one kill with the Nano Blade might just not be enough, so he gets another one on the CJ. Trev just falls here to Nestle. Cozy going down, taking down Clue. Nice start here for the attackers, and now they're going to have to start cleaning up this point pretty quickly if they want to start getting some progress. There's the first thing going to come in. Cozy with the Transcendence gets it off.
Gets it
Oh,
off
yeah,
of a test.
Yeah, and now there will be more and more people returning. Newt is there with the sound barrier still, almost back. Will not quite make it before C3, CJ, and Nyanzo go down, but will sustain his tanks a little bit further. And the Death Blossom, like, preceded by a nice anti-nade. Huge shatter coming in from Cozy as well, and it looks like they're not going to be able to stall out that much longer. Tracer tries, the Doomfist is going to as well. We'll get a constellation kill on Lake Ball, but that's point 2. It's done.
That's point 2, and it's somewhere around 4 minutes in the bank. We'll get an exact time here in about a second. But a huge shatter, especially at the end, because while Wrecking Ball does have a lot of contest potential, especially because Reaper can't deal that damage if he's constantly moving, once you're shattered, you're not really moving anywhere, and Reaper shotguns hurt a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, we're talking about 4 minutes 27, which seems like a fast time, but not a great time. Like not as we used to. But don't forget that we do have the assault changes in this current patch, so they
That's
only
of
had
7
7
minutes.
minutes total. Yeah, not 8 minutes. So they still took just over 2.5 minutes to get that time. That's a great start for them. 2.5 minutes for an assault map. I like that. They only got stopped once.
They only got stopped once on one fight on B, but think about it this way, even if you can't wrap your mind around 427, when you're initially walking out of your attack to get the first point, you have 4 minutes. So they have 20 seconds, 7 seconds on top of that if this goes to extra round.
Yeah, definitely do. They're going to start out on this Soldier Junkrat defense, though, with the heavy tanks once again. They're sticking with this 2-2-2, and we haven't seen this quite from them just yet. It's a little bit of a change, but it has been working for them so far. It's just a question of, is this DPS going to work as well? Because this spam the Junkrat could do a lot.
Yes, but on the other side, let's see if they stick with it, but currently they're looking to roll out on a quadruple DPS setup. Sombra's in a very powerful state. We don't have the Sombra nerfs live yet. They're still on PTR. So if a ball can cause enough disruption and Sombra can build that ult fast enough, then really any composition can get shut down. But that's a huge ult charge and a kill.
The Fire Strike and the Trap Mine, it was just a lot of ult charge. They do get Legbo straight away and no res here for the defenders. They're just going to try and overpower them with the DPS, and so far it's not necessarily not working. Nyanzo does fall, but they have the faster respawns. They can keep on going. They even have their res, and it's already going to be CJ behind them.
Yeah, definitely, and it's just the interesting matter of the DPS compositions. They're fun, but you do have to get those opening picks because you don't have the staying power. Your Wrecking Ball can't stay in. Your only healer's the Mercy, and that's not how you want to start.
Oh, huge anti-nade onto Newt and a positive nade on the rest of their own team there from Amxar. And they've gone through the gate a little bit with a Wrecking Ball. Get another kill Ligbo, but Ligbo is so far the only one that has fallen. Nyanzo tries to get onto Amxar with that Ana, but not really building up the blade just yet. CJ, under a little bit of pressure, does not manage to get out alive.
Yeah, you know, you do want the picks, but unfortunately, whenever you get a pick and you lose 2, it's, like I said before, basic math just doesn't add up in your favor. Huge antis coming in, and that res might be able to turn this fight.
Oh, what a shatter onto the Widowmaker that just been res. Will just clean that up. C3 will go down. Flu as well. Looks like they're just gonna run into their spawn if they can. Oh, they will do back up a little bit. They give them some space, but not a lot.
Ooh, and CA get caught out on the stagger. But you know what? Unfortunately, this composition, you can't get discouraged by things like that. Right now, your play is EMP, but you do have some switches that are starting to come through, so I wonder if they're just going to give up EMP, which would be interesting to hard swap to goats right now when you have the blade up, and you could do an EMP.
And the play was get an opening with the pulse bomb and then go in with the blade, but the pulse bomb missed. Clue was already down, so the blade is probably not going to come out just yet. It's rough. I mean, CJ needs the EMP. They're probably going to go for the EMP blade at this point. I don't think they can really do much else, but it's so rough. They're really not getting anywhere right now.
Half their team is switched to a composition they clearly want to go to. The other half is still hanging on for ultimates. So if these ultimates don't work out, then it's a huge time bite, and they could be looking at just a minute left to try to cap this point.
The tire comes out from the defense. Will he get one? Yes, he gets 2. Clue and Newt already down. Kref does get the counter onto Ligbo because the Ligbo obviously is a little bit stationary when he throws out that tire. Again, Ligbo has been falling a little bit, but just that one pick on the Junkrat not really working out for them. It's not really giving them the edge they need.
But they finally have everybody up on the side of Canis, and they're finally getting to the point. This might be their chance.
Yeah, they get Angsar as well. Did get the nano off onto Prodigy. And Prodigy's all the way out here. It's going to solo do the grab here. Gets one pick, but doesn't get anything else. That res can come in onto C3V, Tier 3, and that's huge. The EMP comes out on the other side of the map. There's the blade to follow it up. They split up the fight, and they do it in a spectacular fashion. Canis might actually get the point here. That's a huge Pfizer might come out from Nestle, but it's going to have to be very big in order to get the value that they needed to get. They do get New down, which is a big pick on that Mercy, but with only Nest still there, I don't think that's going to be enough. They do have some members returning. This could be a fight that they can turn with the limited healing that's available for the attackers. Blue tries to charge out, will get taken down by Angsar. Meanwhile, Prodigy team mech. Angsar under a lot of pressure. I think they're going to be able to defend it here, and it does look like Cozy wants to call it a fight here and says, you know what, you can have that point, but you're already a minute down in time bank.
Already a minute down, you burned a lot of ultimates. All you're going to have going into this is a pulse bomb and a Diva bomb here as we go, and we're switching compositions yet again. We switch Nianzo over to the Ana, and it's just going to come down to if the Sombra can finally get value against this composition, especially with the McCree scouting her out. I don't think it's possible.
Cozy Shatters could be huge, but if it's blocked, that's a lot of edge towards the ult charge of the attackers here. Gets a huge one onto Clue and Nianzo. Snowbird's the one getting charged though, and we'll get the mech, but Cozy, anti-nated, will get taken out as well, and I think he'll take that trade any day because you still have the Diva alive. Ligbo goes in deep though, tries to get the supports out, just completely into no man's land. It's gonna try again here, and actually gets Nianzo. Clue falls in the meantime. It looks like the defenders are gonna hold on here with Nestle and Ligbo, just lighting up the kill feed together. DPS duo, dynamic ones, once again coming back into it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like once again from the side of Canis, this is just a very interesting composition. It looks like they want to run dive, but Nianzo has the comfort pick on Ana, and Clue has the comfort pick on Reinhardt. But just ooh, and the huge entry pick like that.
Yeah, playing dive into Doomfist nowadays without a Sombra is so hard. That self-destruct will actually still gets out Nianzo. This is just a power play coming out. They don't even want to fight at the point. They're just gonna go to their spawn. Another Shatter coming out, and I mean, you do get the kill on Angsar, but is that really gonna matter with those close respawns? I don't think it is, right?
Yeah, you have the defender respawns, which are huge on assault maps. Everybody knows it. It's the bane of time bank's existence. Just the defender respawn will always come in before the attacker on point B. But this could be their chance from the side of Canis because they do have almost every ultimate built. Pulse bomb can be built in a matter of time. It's just a matter of making these ultimates work. EMP Shatter can get them this win.
Yeah, that way you get Nestil, who was a little bit too far out, but then you get Ligbo as well, and they don't. You get the kill. Clue falls to the side of Cozy here, and without a Reinhardt, I don't think they're going to push here. They hadn't used any ults just yet, so that's a good thing. As I say that though, C3V already throws out that pulse bomb. Ligbo will go down late though, so with a quick attack, with Clue coming back quickly, they could really do this if C3V doesn't fall. It's a really interesting dynamic going on. It's almost like my quick play games, guys. This is amazing. Another nice Shatter. Clue is back, and this could be the opening if they go too far on the side of FeelsPlatMan. Snowbird with a huge boop. Boops back Nestle into a position where the Hainu gets no value. C3V clicking it up. It's Ligbo hiding up on the top for the next stall potential to come in. Doesn't have the ult quite yet, but he's waiting. He's there. He goes straight for Nianzo, but Nianzo saw it coming and did already hide. Ligbo going down straight away. The EMP gets no one, I think. Oh, he got Angsar and Cozy. That's actually quite big. Prodigy alone on the point now doesn't have the pulse bomb. Neither does Nestle that just switched over to the Tracer. Ivysaurus trying to throw out the beat for a little bit more sustain. Sustain will come in, but it's going to be the res. Bringing back C3V, and I think this is going to be the completion. And they even had some time on the clock left. That's everything they really needed.
Yeah, exactly. Canis is able to stay alive. They finally, with that EMP, with that Shatter, are able to find the entry picks, get into this point, and as noted, it's well, yes, it is dominating to see that minute to 5:06. Canis is still alive here. They still have a chance as long as they can get something going on point A. If they can even cap point A, then this is a easily winnable map for them.
Looks like they might be able to do so, but they took a little bit long. They took like 4 minutes last time to cap it, or 3.5 about. So they need to do a little bit quicker, and they need to be on the right composition from the start. And it looks like the defense is just going to set up with that Doomfist straight away. No Junker this time. Didn't really work out for them the last time, aside from that 1-2K, so I get that. Other than that, it's going to be pretty much the same thing for the side of FeelsPlatMan. On the attack, though, it does look like Clue might actually go onto this Winston. They might go for the triple dive tank setup here.
triple dive tank with a solo healer. Tracer can pretty much take care of herself between health packs and recall, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But with this triple dive, as long as all 3 tanks can come down on one target, probably Nesta will be the easiest target for them to get. It could be a huge opening pick, and they could definitely seize the opportunity to get this back.
It definitely could, and we're going to be seeing here the attackers. They're going to run out with a Sombra instead. I think that's a really good good change up, and it's going to be a 2-2-2 dive with the Ana Mercy. Very popular support combo nowadays. And yeah, we're going to be seeing him try that out. Ligbo going into it. The Doomfist does get out alive. And now as the dive comes in onto Nestiel, he has to run from that bunker high ground. Does get healed back up, shielded by the Zarya. But now that's a lot of resources invested in keeping that soldier alive. And Clue is still fine. He's a little bit low. Will be under a lot of pressure right now, but still able to live. It's going to be C3B going down to the punch of Ligbo straight away. That's the first pick. That's the one they wanted. And can they now keep cleaning this up? Because Nianzo is under a lot of pressure as well. But they are diving in. They're going in deep. Can they get one? They get Outsar. So the trades have been made. Both Anas out of it. Clue under a lot of pressure. There's a lot of low health bars on the attacker side. CJ will also go down, but they need to get a little bit more. The attackers need to get something because it's only 7 seconds before this attack is over. Clue gets res back up. That's the one they want. They do touch the points. So overtime is going to tick in. Clue dives back in. Tries to get that kill. That's Ivysaurus does get it, but Nestle already has that tech visor. Will get the first kill in the Snowbait. Will get Nianzo. And I think that might just be it to clean it up. Brett is there. Doesn't have the EMP just yet. It's going to be the Primal Nano Winston. That's a huge one. And he is sustaining it. They are getting it, but they're not allowed to step off this point for too long. CJ gets the kill to Ligbo, who was doing a lot of damage. They could actually turn this around. Looks like Canis. They have the numbers. They have the respawns, but they need to touch the point. They need to touch the point. Oh, they don't get on it! So close, and it's the second time that they don't manage to get into the objective when they really need to. That was looking good.
It was looking good. It was about a 4-3 or 4-2 advantage in the side of Canis. But unfortunately, when you lose your tanks like that, your tanks are pretty much the main ones that are going to be contesting that point. But the downside, even worse for Canis, is you don't even get a tick. So now you have to pray for a draw. And a 5-minute hold on any 2CP map would be gargantuan.
It will be amazing if it happens, but the odds are not in their favor. I think that's as far as I'm allowed to go here, or I'm willing to go, really, because I do definitely want to say that Canis, they have a fighting chance. I've had a game myself recently. I got out a draw. They had 4.5 minutes to attack. It's possible. It's only 36 seconds more, so I think it's doable. Question is where they're actually going to be able to do it, because it doesn't really look like the attackers are going to run out with this comp, but they could. I mean, they have 5 minutes to play with after all, so maybe they're gonna go out with 6 DPS and just teleport across the river. I don't know. For defense though, gonna be seeing again the Torbjorn Bastion bunker, but it's from them this time. Last time we saw it from FeelsPlatMan, and let's see if they know how to attack it, because they were the ones running it before Nubani.
Yeah, and it looks like unless some random last-minute hero swaps come in, we are going to run with the 6 DPS, which, well, yes, if it works, you're heroes, but if not, you fed over enemy ultimates, and you have to switch, and you lose some time off your time bank, which you have 5 minutes, but still, you might be feeding over the win by this 6 DPS composition.
Yeah, and they need to be really quick in order for them to not figure out which heroes they have before it activates. Cozy's on the high ground now in that Bastion 4, but he gets booped down because C3V was already set up. CJ takes out Amsar, and it looks like this first attack is already stomped here. They're going to try with more DPS, but they have no healing. They only have DPS heroes, and Symmetra used to be a support, but she never really did much healing. It's going to be Ligbo trying to get in through the back, who just gets holted up, hooked up, taken down by C3V. And they're going to have to keep on poking, keep on trying, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But I feel like they need a little bit more. Just that damage is not going to be enough, but they're going to keep trying. And Ligbo actually going over to the to the Junkrat now.
Yeah, he does switch over, and I mean, hey, at least you have Nestle for the healing, right? That's what the silver players in the chat will say.
Not if he's dead, though. You know, he's gone. So, yeah, and Cozy tried to go for a little bit of a nasty flank up to the hallway corridor, I don't know what you call it. So the bridge hall. I think that's something you can call it. But at least he's down, so he's going to have to come back from spawn. And we're still on 6 DPS. They're still going over to the Genji. They're really set on trying to make this work. And I don't know if that's really something you want to go for. I mean, they still have 3.5 minutes left, but like you said, they're just feeding over ult check right now.
Not only feeding over ults, we've already taken a minute off the clock. Off this impressive 5-minute clock, we're already down 3 minutes 30 seconds, and there's no real poke no pressure on the point without any tanks, so it's going to be interesting to see how they attack this.
Oh, they take down Snowbrit, but Newt is still there for the rest, so one pick is not going to do it. They need a little bit more, and with Clue's shield once again set up, doesn't look like they're going to do it. Nesto's trying to poke a little bit from the top, and they do actually take down Nianzo, so no Baptiste. And you know what? With 6 DPS, if they're set up in that bunker, it does look like Nesto might want to go for the spawn camp on the Baptiste, which is something they can realistically do.
Exactly, but like I said before, even with the 6 DPS composition, the way the Bastion's set up, even if you wanted to try to sneak cap that one tick that you'll need, as they're trying to do right now, it's just the pressure that you...
Gosh, that's so huge. Prodigy might have just opened everything up. It doesn't matter if you what your other 5 heroes are. If your Pharah gets that opening 2k, that's all you need. Gets the heroes they need, and that's gonna be FeelsPlatMan taking out the map in a... I mean, I don't even know what fashion that it's in. I just don't know. I mean, Twitch chat's probably gonna have a great terminology for this, great new meme.
People ask for DPS, and well,
they're getting it. Yeah, probably like that, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. This is just a nice play. You can see it goes very low as well. It only dies to the last turret shot by the time it's already too late. Prodigy cleaning everything up there. That's all they needed. They needed the Prodigy, and they got the. Well, I mean, they got it. It was a good omen for them. And yeah, FeelsPlatMan taking up 3-0 victory. That's a nice series we got here for the Community Crossover Cup. Canis, Aureus, they have some work to do. It does look like they know what they're doing when they go to these more meta comps that we've seen over the past 12 months. But with the things that we've been seeing coming out new and with the dives, it does seem like they're a little bit more unfamiliar with that. So I'm curious to see if they're gonna, do something like that and actually see, maybe work on that, maybe come out with something new next time. But we'll see. I mean, it is still one of those tournaments where you don't have to really change anything up if you don't want to. So we'll see.
Yeah, and it's just shaking off the rust of the GOATS meta. As you saw, you had some players on the side of Canis who were just simply out there playing. While they were playing their best, you could tell that they had been playing GOATS for so long. They've been playing Orion, they've been playing Zarya. Switching over, well, yes, you could sit in a practice lobby and start to warm up. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as playing DPS for real.
No, and it doesn't have to be. Obviously, there's a lot of nice programs you can run now within the workshop in order to really get your aim going. But right now, it does look like we are we're gonna end it here. Player
of the match. I mean, so who would you personally nominate?
Yeah, I mean, player of the match. If I have to nominate anyone, I mean, I think I know who you're gonna go for. I mean, that seems pretty obvious to me. I really want to highlight the tank play that came out of FeelsPlatMan, especially just the hooks and just the consistency that came out from Prodigy, especially. Just did a lot on not only on DPS but also on the off tank a lot of the time. So yeah, it's just did a lot, and I really like the play coming out from Prodigy. Also Nestil though, like they both fill the roles of the off tanks and the DPS properly together. So yeah, those are ones that I really want to highlight. Just that duo, the dynamic between those.
Yeah, me personally, I want to highlight Ligbo just because the phenomenal DPS play, the ones shutting down any chance that Canis had of moving forward a lot of the times. And I mean, it's just, that's the meta we're moving into now that GOATS is gone, now that we're out of this Brigitte prison. A lot of DPS players are finally ready to break out of these shackles and finally do what they can and win it all.
Yep, and win it all they did today. Obviously, they still have more. They're still gonna have more matches to play, so we're gonna see what they're gonna do in the future. For now, though, it's gonna be us signing off. I've been Man of Class again, casting with a lovely Mega Lad, and we'll hope to see you on the other side, guys. See you next time.